Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Emilia McCarthy about Zombies 3, which recently premiered on Disney+. And we're also talking about Skymed on Paramount Plus and CBC Gems. So much to talk about. Welcome to the show. It's so great to see you.
Thank you, PD. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pretty big summer for you. There's no sugarcoating it.
Yeah, it's been pretty busy. Of course, the two things just happened to come out like on the same week. First of all, the weeks in the year. But no, it's been great and been getting some really great response. So it's exciting.
How far in advance did you know that the release dates were going to be very similar? Like, did you at least have a couple of months to like know that they were both going to be out like end of July-ish?
I did,
Okay.
yeah. So I mentally prepared myself. I got like all my pictures ready to post so I wouldn't be overwhelmed. And obviously I came to LA because press was like perfect timing. So it worked out.
Absolutely. So talk Zombies 3 first. I mean, I feel like everyone was just so excited about it. Bittersweet, obviously, because it's like going to be like the last one. And, well, as far as we know, you never know, something could happen. But as far as we know, it is right now the last one. Your character, obviously, we're familiar with your character. Very different, like, nicer character this time around. You know what I mean?
Like, how was he going to say this? Yes, Lacey, she hasn't been the nicest. So thankfully she evolved a little bit. And, these movies at its core, they're about inclusivity and coming together and embracing and celebrating everyone's differences. And, Lacey and the ACs were kind of slow to that. Mm-hmm. So thankfully in this third one, they have, finally come around. They've stood up to Bucky, finally.
Yeah.
And they're part of, the accepting and the change and living in harmony.
I love how you knew what I was going to ask. You were just like, yeah, he's going to ask. Like, my character is nice now. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Which is cute because actually a lot of kids have been like, I'm so glad you're nice now. And I was like, thank you for supporting like my character when I wasn't nice. I don't know how they did that.
That's so true. It's pretty crazy too how every movie, like, they just make it bigger and bigger in terms of what's kind of happening. I mean, like originally the zombies and the werewolves are in, and now the aliens. I mean, like, was it pretty cool to see all the different things they were able to do for the third one as well, specifically?
Yeah, I mean, the third one is bigger and better than ever. We have RuPaul as the spaceship voice, which is crazy. The SFX are insane. The dances and the songs, they're just so extravagant. And it's great to add more people to our little family. And like you said, even though it's the third movie and possibly the end, but you never know. There's actually, we're in talks of having like a little zombies theme pop up at the Disney parks.
That's amazing. I feel like that.
It'll live on a little.
It will, for sure. I feel like, but I don't know. I feel like it's literally like a you never know. Like I'm a big music fan, and I've seen so many of my favorite bands like, oh, we're breaking up, and they're back together. So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, when we started, we didn't know there was going to be even 2 movies necessarily, let alone 3, a whole franchise, an animated show at the Disney parks, the dolls. Like, it became, a huge thing. And I think ultimately people have been really receptive to the story. And, it's teaching morals through song and dance. And the little kids and the parents also have been really receptive to it.
Were you prepared a little bit because these movies, like when they come out, Emilia, they hit hard. Like you said, like the kids like love these movies, and like globally people love them. You worked on Zapped on Disney Channel. So like, were you prepared a little bit? Like, you knew the massive ability of Disney at Disney Channel, right? Like, it wasn't like a super big shocker to you basically after working on that one.
Yeah. Zapped was really fun. Zendaya was such a sweetheart to work with, and she's killing it now. And that was such a fun experience. I think, yeah, really zombies. I think what made it so big was that it's different in the sense that it has such deep and layered stories to it. And especially during the times we're living in now, I think it's really important to have movies like that for our younger generations, and teach, embracing differences and coming together and living in harmony while still being able to challenge people.
Oh, absolutely. No, for sure. So we talked about Zombies 3. Now we're going to move over to another project, a different project. I mean, Skymed's available now on Paramount Plus, and in Canada, episodes are streaming on CBC Gem. Such a fun show. The medical drama literally taken to new heights and everything. You do such a great job in this show, by the way. And I just feel like, does it feel like you're on two shows though? Because there's the obvious, emergency nurses up in the air and everything, that aspect of it. But then there's all the relationships and all that drama we know and love about with medical dramas. Like, does it feel like you're on two shows sometimes with Skymed?
That's a great question. No one's asked me that, actually. Yeah, I think that's a good point, because there is so much going on in the show, and it's such an ensemble cast, and every character has their own storyline. Maybe a little bit, but really ultimately, like towards the end, it all comes together. As you can see, it all intertwines and it all makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. People are loving it in Paramount Plus. I mean, is it one of those, I'm sure you don't like think about those things. You just you make a show, you wrap, and then it's kind of out of your hands. What's that like when it's like a day before it kind of releases on Paramount Plus? Like what are you thinking?
Yeah, it was very exciting and a little nerve-wracking, because this is a very different role for me. Especially comparing it to most recently, Lacey and Zombies, the little sassy cheerleader, versus, what I have to do in Skymed was, very different. And I was interested to see how people would, react to that. But no, I've been so excited and thankful we've, got such great responses. And I think also what makes, this show, it's not just any other medical drama. We have, us attending to communities, remote communities in the north, and we have a beautiful dynamic of Indigenous voices and the healthcare system in that perspective. And I think it doesn't make it like you're just any other medical drama.
Oh no, it did. I said when I interviewed Morgan Holmstrom about it, I literally started the interview. I didn't even do it on purpose, but I was like, we're taking the medical drama to new heights. Like, I literally said that. I just started laughing, and then I was kind of like, oh, I know why she's laughing, because that's like the worst thing of all time that I said.
And now you're using it, though. You used it on me.
I did.
Laugh. It's okay.
But it's true. It's so great. The cast is so amazing. Everyone does such a great job in that show. I do have to ask you a question though, specifically. You look at a lot of your work that you did when you were starting out in the industry. You were doing a lot of work in Canada on a lot of projects that, like you did a movie called Bunks that was in Family Channel, but eventually it was on Disney XD in the States. And then you did, Max and Tread, which was YTV. Then it went to Nickelodeon. I'm just curious, when you were working on those, because a lot of people use a lot of Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, like it's a stepping stone for their career, right? You mentioned Zendaya and everything. They learn things, and then they go do projects. For you at the time when you were working on those projects, did you think of it as a stepping stone, or were you just focusing on, no, I'm working, this is my job and everything? Or was it a little bit of both? Like, I'm just curious about the mindset when you were working on those projects.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I grew up in the industry. So when I was young, I was just taking the opportunities as they came to me without very much of like a clear, narrow goal. I think more now that I have had the opportunities that I've had, and I kind of know who I am more and what I want out of the industry, now I have a clear goal. I love HBO. I think they have such amazing high quality content for actors. That's my goal now for sure. But yeah, like as a teenager growing up, like doing like Disney and Nickelodeon, like that was awesome. Like going to Kids' Choice Awards and stuff like that. Like that was like cool stuff for me, at that point in my career. And I'm forever grateful for those opportunities.
I feel like it's tricky too, because like for the people that do see it as like a stepping stone and like getting used to everything and being on set for the first time and everything, it kind of throws a curveball at you because these shows are so big, right? With the young audience, you know what I mean? So it's like you're learning and then you're thrown into this big kind of fan base and social media following as you're like learning everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, my first thing ever was Babel. I was
Yeah.
Elle Fanning's double. My first audition ever. I had no idea what I was doing. And like Brad Pitt, Kate Blanchett, Alejandro González Iñárritu was the director, and I had no idea. Like, I was like, okay, this is the industry. Like, my first audition, I'll just show up, and this is what it is. And so then slowly I started doing Disney and Nickelodeon. Like, before that, I even did Hemlock Grove on Netflix. So it's not like I saw Nickelodeon and Disney as like a stepping stone. I think it was more just like the opportunities that were helping me, like, be more evolved and whole as an actor.
Oh, absolutely. No, for sure. I always found that interesting because, they're not like a lot of those projects are like someone's first project, and those are like pretty big projects for those to be like your first project. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you mean. I mean,
But it's not like you're going to do a short movie. You're going to do like a Nickelodeon show. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, I've been very lucky in that sense.
Yeah.
And I think that it's helped me shape my career. And this industry is a lot about luck. At the end of the day, you have to have talent, you have to have perseverance, but also you have to have a lot of luck.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's crazy. But I'm so happy for the summer you've had with these movies. It's amazing. Emilia, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
Likewise. Thank you, Petey.
So yeah, Zombies 3 streaming now on Disney Plus. They can check that out. Skymed's on Paramount Plus and in Canada on CBC Gem. Where can people follow you on social media to keep updated with everything? Probably Instagram.
Instagram is my name, Emilia, with an extra A, McCarthy.
Yeah.
And Skymed, you can actually, if you don't want to binge it, you can watch it weekly on CBC Sundays at 9 p.m.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're doing that. It's true. They're dropping them weekly.
They're still doing that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I think there's a place for both of them. I've talked about this on previous interviews as well. Like, I think there's places for the binge and places for the week to week. I like them both.
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of people prefer to have it as like a special occasion every weekday, and that's what they tell me. That's how they're watching it. Like my parents. Yep. And then, like my younger friends are like, I binge it in a day.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna have different people have different ways and methods of watching things, but it's so great. Oh, absolutely. There is a room for both, but it's so great. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, it's Emilia McCarthy and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.